Here's a question that Chad will read to Erock to open up into our next topic.
Okay, Erock, have you seen Opie's crazy, hilarious new prank channel? First prank was buying envelopes. True genius.
Yeah. I think the world has seen that more so than on his YouTube channel. Everyone's seen it elsewhere. He's trying to find something. He's definitely not doing the right thing at all, but he's another one that never listens to criticism, to concern, to actual thoughts and ideas. I'm like, this might not be the best thing to do. He got into that headspace where he doesn't need to listen to anybody anymore, and his work is definitely the result of it. He's doing everything on his own. He has nobody helping him, and I don't think anybody's really watching it. So he's got to try something.
You've got to admit, though, that takes some fucking balls to go buy envelopes. Like, that's pretty fucking funny.
I know, something people don't really even use anymore. So let's just go and get something so antiquated that this will be fun. I saw a clip. I don't remember where I saw it, but he was walking around Manhattan and talking to like the wax figures at Madame Tussauds wax museum in Times Square there. Like, he's trying to talk to the figures, and then one of the guards comes up to him and asks him what he's doing. It's just like, as soon as I saw him trying to talk to Jimmy Fallon, I said, all right, this is stupid. God bless him. Do what you're going to do, but this is not a way to go out quietly into the night. It's not very dignified.
But that's funny, because when you think about it, wax statues can't speak, right? So when he goes...
we should tell him that.
When he goes up to the Jimmy Fallon, he goes, Jimmy Fallon, do you have... the old envelopes for sale.
So you saw the content. Good on you.
No, I'm just thinking of a follow-up sketch that I was going to send to him, but that's fucking...
weren't far off. So,
but think about how funny that is, because how would a statue A be able to speak and B know where envelopes are? Like, this is fucking... We're going to go viral. Like, this is a glorious time to be alive, guys. Are you not excited?
That's always... Long before people were putting stuff out to go viral, he has been obsessed with getting things to go viral. And half the time you're like, it doesn't matter. You can't make it happen. It either happens or it doesn't. You can't say, I'm going to put... It's like when you get those ads on Instagram or something like that, and it's everybody trying to tell you how to increase your engagement, and you should be using this program to cut up like 100 clips from your podcast for vertical videos on things.
So if you want to be badass like me, you fucking do it.
Yes. It's like, guaranteed at least, 200 viral clips. And it's like, you can't think like that. If you think like that, it never happened. This is worse than like nighttime hip hop radio, where they're constantly playing the air horn and sound effects and stuff like that. So you're pretty damn close.
Yeah. I love your reactions, Erock. It's the best.
Yeah. It's just so dumb.
You listen to black people at night?
New York City. Yeah, I grew up listening to all kinds of radio here.
But the reason why I ask about that great Opie thing is that over the last couple of days, like pretty much since the start of this year, what seemed like a dormant feud, and it seemed like, as you mentioned earlier, the Ant-Man had health issues, and there was a lot of nice well wishes being said online. I know you don't listen to this show that much, Erock, but Opie had for quite a while been very complimentary towards you, and he would say about how, in hindsight, the level of work skill you had compared to the I can't think of the word, but the pay you were getting, he says it was ridiculous that you were working so much and then not being rewarded for it. That in hindsight, he was like, that's the one thing I would change, is that, we'd have done that sort of shit. So it seemed like there was the hint of some kind of niceness coming, or some type of peace. and after that,
That's a
Opie,
long way to go just to say what you're trying to say, but go
yeah.
ahead.
But then recently, the Opie and Anthony feud has restarted all over again, all on fucking Twitter. It's like a multiple times
He's
per
trying to
day.
generate business. That's all it is. He launched that new YouTube channel. It's not getting the subscriber numbers or the viewer numbers like his other channel was. I don't know how legitimate his numbers are on his other channel, at least the subscribers, because the ratio from subscribers to views and all that stuff never added up ever. But he's just trying to he's stirring up shit to generate business. That's all it is, And Ant's playing into it a little bit. I saw some the other day. Ant did like a 40-minute rant on Opie having a video about his Roy Scheider glasses, and it was hilarious. But I mean, it was giving Ant material to play with for a while. But Opie's trying to stir up business for his channel to generate heat buzz, everything he didn't want anymore. When he kept saying, "I don't want to talk about O&A. I don't want to. I've moved on from this." Now he's got a new entity, a new product he's putting out there, so he has to go back to the well to try to get people to check him out, and that ain't gonna work either. And it shows. It's not working at all. He can be tough guy, keyboard warrior on Twitter all he wants, but it's just not. It ain't doing anything.
Yeah, and it seems like that he's going after Norton as well, which I really don't get why. Because like Norton seems like
Norton doesn't give a shit. Norton won't ever talk about him. Norton, on the rare times that Norton even alludes to that, Norton took the other direction. He's just like, I don't want anything to do with the guy anymore, and followed that. Never brings him up. Sam never talks about him unless it's absolutely necessary for it, or if it's right in front of them that he has to say at least something. Nobody talks about the guy, and that's what he wants, but it's not what he wants. He wants constantly people talking about him so that he can respond. He can get agitated and know that it will translate again to business for his YouTube channels, maybe paying him during his super chat stuff and what have you. It just draws in the old fans that are still clamoring for what we all missed. It was the actual show, but it's never going to be the actual show. We'll never get anything remotely close to that back. Even if they all decided to sit down and do an episode together, it'd be nice, but it's like when your favorite sitcom goes off the air and then they have the 10-year reunion episode, and you're like, oh, that's kind of cool, but it's not the same anymore. And you don't want to see more O&A again, because it's just not going to be what you remembered.
Yeah.
Ope can say what he wants. He speaks out of both sides of his mouth.
oh,
It is what it is. It's not an insult. It's not an
ooh.
insult. He's sitting there. I don't want to talk about Opie and Anthony, but he puts Opie and Anthony clips up. I stop asking me about Anthony, but he takes all the super chats that are coming in that are saying stuff about Anthony. He's dumb and he's not at the same time. That's the best way I can put it.
Let me ask you this. So do you think there could be any possibility that the new YouTube channel was created as a way to still keep the flame going, though, just to give people more ammunition to continue to talk and keep the feud going? I mean, because look, just trying to find something to talk about the Pat Cooper glasses is, that's a stretch. But to keep the channel and making this content what it is, keeps everybody talking. Everybody's got new videos up every day about Opie.
No, a lot of it was it's kind of lazy too. A lot of it was he had these clips, like if you remember his stuff, he some guy reached out to him that worked at the Chrysler building and got him up to those levels that you can't go to anymore. And the one guy was walking outside on those eagles that stick out the side of the building. He just like, oh, I could take all that stuff, put it on a new channel and make money again for the third or fourth time off those videos. And then this will be different from his morning chat, coffee chat thing that he does. I could put him over here. Somebody told him that if you move him over there, it'll show up in the algorithm because it's a different channel. He could make more money. He could do all these other things. So that's all it is. It's just a way of trying to cash in on the same thing for the third or the fourth time. If he really didn't want to be a part of anything anymore or talk about anything, it wouldn't be called Opie Unleashed. One, because the Unleashed is stupid, but two, it wouldn't have been Opie. It would have been more of a brand instead of his name on there. But because he kept that name on there, which is from the show that he says he hates and doesn't regret. I did a thing on Who Are These Podcasts a while ago. These clips came out that were sent to us of Ope talking about how he regrets ever doing Opie and Anthony, and he wasted his youth and the best years of his life doing this program as he's sitting, 500 feet above Manhattan, and you're seeing the Hudson River and the New York downtown landscape and everything from where he's sitting there. He's like, I regret all of this. It's like, you made millions of dollars. And if he regretted it, he'd have a more humble background, a more humble situation that he's talking about. It's like, do you remember the artist Sam Smith, the music guy?
During I ever? And
I know
they have no gender, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay.
He did a video where he was sitting in his lavish mansion crying that he's isolated from the world and feeling bad for the people of the world, that we're all stuck at home during this pandemic and we can't go. You don't put that kind of video out when you've got like fucking giant pillars and fountains and a really like nice kept landscape right behind you as you're sitting there crying, talking about how you feel the plight of everyday people and what we're all going through. Everyone went, go fuck yourself, Sam Smith, with all your bullshit like that. The same thing with Ope. Put that stuff out there, and you can find it on the WATP channel where we talk about it, where that particular clip was I don't want to say resentful. It actually insulted everybody that worked on that show. It wasn't just attacking Anthony this time or Norton this time or Jim and Sam for whatever. It was saying everybody that worked there, the show, the staff, the management at all the different companies that were paying us, and that the whole thing was just a big regret and he wishes he never did it. It's like it was a big fuck you to everybody, revisionist history kind of shit. At that point, I was just like, enough. Fuck you, dude. We all loved being there for as toxic and chaotic and also as fantastic as it was doing that show and having those jobs and getting the access to things that we did. I don't regret any of it. I've had people saying, oh, you got abused the most. How do you still look back? It's like, that's only what you saw on the air. And a lot of that stuff I brought to the air. It wasn't like there was some stuff we all got called off, for doing something stupid, or got caught, or whatever, not thinking about something or saying the wrong thing. But a lot of that shit I brought to the air, and I said, I have this. All right, we'll figure out a way to do that. Why would you tell us this? Because it would be funny on the air. The thing where there's an infamous bit where my refrigerator door fell off my refrigerator in my kitchen. I was in another room at my place, and I'm in my office. All of a sudden, I hear this crash. I go, what the fuck was that? I walk over. The door fell off. And I went, that's hilarious. You can't write that. So I took the photos. Of everything. And I sent a text. This just happened. I don't believe it either, but I'll have the photos tomorrow morning. I bring it in. We have the photos. We put them online. We're talking about all that stuff there. And then you get, why do you do it to yourself? You bring it on to yourself by doing this stuff. Yeah, because we're a fucking multi-million-dollar national radio show that needs to constantly generate attention and material. That's why we all brought our lives to this show. That's why we were all doing all this stupid shit all the time. Not just because it's fun to do, but we were getting paid, and this is a job, and this is what we were supposed to do. None of us look back at that time. We have regretful memories, but we have a lot more fond memories of doing that show and having that privilege and that ability to do what we did. And then to turn around and say, well, fuck this. I hated it. I wasted the best years of my life. You got everything from that show. A lot of us got almost everything that we have right now from that show. None of us are looking back in regret. We go, it sucks the way it ended. It sucks the way our relationships have all diverged since then, but that's life. None of us regret doing that show except that asshole. And that was the point where I just I've had enough with this shit. Because I've made comments about him here and there. And for the most part, I never deal with him because he causes his own problems and he'll never learn. But that thing really pissed me off because I was just like, we all knew what that show was. The audience knew what that show was. And we all loved it. There's still to this day, we're 11 years now removed from that show existing, and people still talk about it. Those clips are still surfacing online. His dumb cake video, which is hilarious, that he keeps getting shit on it, and almost in a cycle every 6 months to a year. It shows up on Reddit. It shows up on some foreign website, and they all go crazy and start attacking him. I think that's hilarious, and he has not found a way to capitalize on that, which is, again, his fault for one, doing the video, his fault for not figuring out how to make money off of this thing if it's never going to go away. But we all don't regret this stuff. And now he's saying he does. And that wasn't even a way of generating business for or attention for his YouTube channel or any of that stuff, because that happened before he launched this new thing. It's just he sits on the beach in the morning and talks. And that's all it was. And he's so angst filled, and he's so abused, and it was always him. Like, why is everyone picking on me? It's like, asshole, you were the one leading the charge of everyone else getting picked on that show. Now it's coming back to you. Oh well, that was the nature of what we did.
And the real shame is, of course, with Opie or with
You're
Jim
gonna
Norton.
clip that too. I'll see that tomorrow in big green letters. Erock goes after Opie, or whatever the thing is you're gonna put on there.
That was such a clippy clip. It couldn't be clipped faster.
I know how to segment this stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I will flag any channel that clips that. But yeah, I just think it's a shame though, because you see with Jim Norton's show with his wife, who's a lady, and when Anthony was on a couple of weeks ago, it was fucking hilarious. And apparently Anthony just recorded another episode yesterday. So now,
Is it up, or did he just do it?
I've no idea, but I will be watching it regardless.
Yeah.
But if we wanted to watch your stuff, Erock, where could we find it? Oh, in fact, before you do that, important question: what does Erock think of Doggy?
He doesn't. I heard he had a dog. I don't know what it looks like or any of that stuff. I don't care. Best of luck with the dog.